so this is the last part of our presentation. But we have Bob, Aurora, that would love to answer some questions if you have some questions about, you know, our presentation tonight. Questions that might have not been shown about geothermal. This is the time to ask. And if you don't mind, you can come up here. Anybody with questions? Okay, she has a question.
I have some kind of general questions, but I'd like to know what is going on presently and what we can do about it. And I'm really concerned about the legislation. I mean, apparently it's just passed. I don't know if there's anything we could do about it. But what are they doing? You know, what are they doing, and who is doing it?
Well, they passed quite a few bills to ease the environmental rules.
Are they saying they don't have to have an EIS?
For certain things, exploratory drilling and all that, there's different agencies. The Department of Health has another hearing coming up on the 17th. I'll be sending out a geothermal notice to on our community geothermal bulletin with the address where you can comment on that. On May 5th, they did approve some of those relaxing of the environmental requirements for, I can't remember exactly what it was. I know it's exploratory drilling and some other things.
No EA required.
No environmental assessment.
For exploration.
For exploration. And basically they can go into reserve, any kind of reserve state lands and all that. So you can't cut a tree down in any of those areas or pick rocks out of there, but they can bulldoze a road in and drill geothermal wells, and they don't have to get permission to do any of that. They can just do it. And they passed a lot of bills for this cable. Yeah, the cable is pretty controversial, but they're definitely going to spend a bunch of money studying it. They don't have a boat that can lay it, so they have to build a special boat to lay the cable. And nobody knows how much it's going to cost. So they're going to spend money on all that kind of stuff, and instead of let's do some of the solar stuff. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, well, who's doing the study?
The studies are
what studies?
The studies of the cable. They haven't started them yet. I don't know, but the last time they spent 26 million.
So like the county.
They hire people, experts or people that do studies that get paid millions and millions of dollars to study those things. This is actually coming, my opinion, is coming from Senator Diane. This is coming from the federal level, and it has to do with, we could guess, military, they want to build ammonia factories, they want to do a lot of different things they want this power for. And it's going through Neil Abercrombie and the legislature, and it's coming down through Billy Canoy. So I think that's who's doing it. And they have a commission, a group of people that sit on all of these advisory boards, and they're all the same people. They're Helco people, and then they're union people. It's Richard Haw, Wallace Ishibashi, Curtis Beck, Steve Burns, Tom Goya. They're all these same people that have been doing this for a long time, and they never stopped. We kind of beat them 20 years ago, but they never really stopped. They just kind of pulled back, and they started trying to get some of the people that helped us beat them onto their side, and they've been working on it for quite a while. Any other questions?
Can we take it to the vote of the people? Because we have a cadre of people that has been the Old Boy Network. So therefore we have to put it in the mainstream, which is that it's the people of Hawaii.
I was just wondering if we could take it to the vote of the people, because we have the Old Boy Network that's consistently, taking this to a certain degree where we as the mainstream public is not being represented. Can we take it then to that level and away from the Big Boy Network?
I'm not exactly sure how we would do that, and maybe we have initiative in Hawaii County, but we don't have statewide initiative, so can't do it on a statewide level. And also outside of Puna, you know, it sounds pretty good. I mean, it's clean, it's renewable. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this presentation to Kona, we're going to take it to Maui, we're going to take it to the schools, we're going to take it to Kahala, we're going to take it to Oahu. Because the first thing we have to do is kind of educate people. And so if anybody else has any ideas, you know, please join Pele Defense Fund. Or, you know, we could use the help for sure. I mean, the way we beat them last time was sheer numbers. I don't know if you saw the pictures of the protest, but basically we did civil disobedience for years. I was arrested 13 times. A lot of us were arrested a lot of times, and they arrested so many of us that one day in Waikele Puna, they had to bring in buses, they had to bring police from all the different islands, and then they took us to the jail, and they didn't have anywhere to put us. They put us in the parking garage, and they wanted us to, they were like, please leave, and we were like, oh no, I think we're going to stay for a while. You know? But and it may come to that. You know, it may come to that. We're kind of doing some nonviolence training and talking about kind of stuff, but we're a long ways from that. They haven't started the permitting process. You know, stuff like this thing out with the Department of Health on May 17th. If we could get 500 people to write them a letter, you know, make some testimony, I'm going to send it out. I don't have the information with me, but it will be in the geothermal update. If anybody wants that information, please give me your email address. I send out updated information whenever it comes in. Where it's going to be county council hearings coming up, where Dominic Dugong is going to introduce motions for relocation, monitors, health studies, buffer zones, the kind of things we want, we can ask for. At this point, the state is not responsive. The state is kind of ignoring us. You know, we need to put pressure on the state any way we can. We haven't got a strategy for that yet that I'm aware of, but you know, anytime a state senator or somebody running for state office has a political function, ask them questions. They shouldn't be able to come here without having to talk about geothermal. Anybody else? Sure.
I was just a delegate at the Democratic convention for the county that we had this weekend, and one of the resolutions they presented 29. There were 29 resolutions presented, and one of the resolutions was saying that, you know, if geothermal is abundant and safe, there were like 4 different categories for it. And then that would be one of the main alternative sources, along with solar, which will be given most priority over any other. And though the newspaper reported it as passed, it didn't. It was the only one that was turned down. And I thought that was a real victory for what we're doing, because it was presented by the colonizers. Any area on the island, they have a resolution committee, which was on the 21st. I'm just learning all this process. And then those resolutions were then presented, and like I said, all 28, they were all mostly wonderful resolutions. They all passed. That one got voted down. And so I thought, wow, somebody's out there paying attention and listening. So, and, yeah, thank you.
So get on the email list, and every Wednesday, Pele Defense Fund is down here at Uncle Robert's with the table information, sign-up sheets, petitions. Please pay attention, and you know, if there is a county council meeting, or if the state people do come, we need to turn out. We did pretty well in Paula. We had 300 or 400 people. The last time was supposedly the largest county council meeting they've ever had. And it had an impact. We have resolutions, and we got to do the same thing at the state level. The Pele Defense Fund also meets every Monday night, and you know, they can use support, any kind of support. If you're good on a computer, if you know how to track legislation, make flyers, any of those things that we're doing, we can always use help with that kind of stuff.
Are you taking financial donations?
Are we taking financial donations? Yeah, you can talk to Terry right there. She's in charge of that. And they do sell T-shirts. They have these really nice T-shirts, which is a fundraiser for the Defense Fund. And we will be sending out notices of any type of fundraisers in the future. The Bailey Defense Fund right now is meeting in the Papamoo Gallery in Prince Kuhia Mall on Mondays at 6 o'clock. You want to give the phone number? Should I give out the phone number? If you'd like to call them, you can call 315-9996 and they can give you any information from there. Paul, I got a question. Hey, Pat. How are you doing?
Hi, my name is Pat Pacheco. I just saw, this is the first time I've ever come to a meeting like this, although I've been to the Phillies meeting once or twice already, and very interesting. I was very astounded when I saw, seeing all this, how the people down here, Puna and all over suffering like this. I mean, this is a big thing that should be shown in the county council room and in the state legislature, so the whole state of Hawaii can see such things like this, how the people have been treated. And also, I was astonished about the birds. I mean, they don't care about the wildlife, and I'm one that do a lot of hunting up in the hunting grounds, and this is why we lose our hunting grounds, because they say the birds are endangered species. Monarchy had issued the sheep and leave it there because of the birds, but the birds down here in the wildlife, they don't give a damn about it. I mean, is it the same thing that what they do up there, they should be doing down here? I think so. I mean, it all applies in wildlife. Where's Miles? Where's Sierra Club? Where's all these special organizations that's supposed to be fighting for such thing, environment, conservation? They don't care about down here. Only care about the money and geothermal, so wipe out the people down here. I mean, wow, I see this, I'm amazed. I mean, people should wake up. Where's our politicians, by the way, bro? I don't see them. When you need them, they're not around, right? Thank you, bro.
Thank you, Pat. Yeah, we have the same problem with a lot of issues. It's not just geothermal. We have a problem with the political system in general, I think. And any other questions? I want to say we will be in Kona on the 29th at 6 p.m. Is at the Civic Center. It's the new Kona County Council Chambers. So if you guys know anybody in Kona that wants to come, we did do it for the county council, and they were very responsive. But the state people have refused to come. Billy Kanoy came down, and we caught him at a meeting, and we really got him on geothermal, and he was, not very happy about it. But he promised us that he was going to bring the state people down here so we could do this for them and talk to them, and he hasn't done that yet. So anybody who talks to Billy Kanoy, ask him when he's going to bring the state people down.
How many plants or how many vents are actually slated for the Puna area?
That's a secret. It's it's proprietary information. The governor wants 1,000 up to 1,000. He thinks 1,000 megawatts would be fabulous, to quote the governor. The geothermal working group has said they believe there's 1,400 megawatts. And to put that in perspective, the current plan is between 30 and 38 megawatts. So it's something like 33 of those plants would be 1,000 megawatts. The only known resource is that they really know about is the one they have there in Poiki. So they talk about Kona, they talk about all this stuff, but where they really come in is Puna. And they may try Kona. They're going to do some exploratory Maui. We're going to go to Maui too. But it's the only one we know about for sure is Four Corners in Kapoho. Richard Haw, who's on the working group, told me they are going to drill at Four Corners in Kapoho. Other than that, they're leasing land, but it's all secret. It's all secret. How many? They won't tell us. Where? They won't tell us. How big they're going to be? Can't tell you guys. So those are questions, when you talk to people, when you talk to representatives. Terry?
Can you tell me that just recently Abercrombie passed about volcano Puna? Can you tell them?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Just recently in the newspaper, Abercrombie had mentioned that they're going to be opening subzones, you know, and in reality, what you watched on the videos of the demonstrations, you know, they're going to be opening that up again.
Where do you mean?
Volcano Puna. Volcano Puna. You know the demonstrations you had? It's right up there. We'd like to thank Councilman Chair Yagong for being here tonight. Yeah, and so he's going to say a few words if we can get your attention.